Happy Wednesday or WIP Wednesday. Today I am going to be working in Tales from the Forest Kingdom. That is a Hannah Carlson book. I don't actually have a WIP right now in here. I'm starting a new one because I wanted to play around with my Indra macaroon. So these are, it doesn't say macaroon on the box, but on Amazon they're called macaroon. At least that's the set. They're 36 pastel pencils. So I got these, oh gosh, a couple weeks ago I had shared a link on my community tab when there was like a really good lightning deal and coupon, and basically it brought these down to like 17 bucks or something like that. And I had bought them then when I shared that link. So I snatched these up, and then they've just been kind of hanging out there, and I finally sharpened them and swatched them the other day, and I was honestly thinking these were going to be pretty crappy, because, you know, just budget novelty pencils, but they actually weren't. I swatched them and I was really impressed, and I absolutely love how the pastel colors just pop against the black wood. But that said, these aren't like creamy like Prismacolor. However, I find them softer than Astra Pastello or Pastel Love, depending on how picky you want to be. And about the same as the Castle Art pastel tint, except not as waxy as pastel tints. So yeah, I'm adding these to my pastel collection. You know, I have a lot of things I'm collecting right now. I'm collecting pastel pencil sets. I'm collecting watercolor confections. I'm collecting watercolor pencils. I just realized that today. I've got a lot of projects around collecting, but you know what? It's all for you guys and me, of course, but it's fun to be able to compare them. So I am done coloring Christmas. I have tried all month. It just isn't happening. I'm not in the mood to color Christmas. I don't feel Christmassy. This month is going to be full of nothing but, hey guys, check out my month of whips, pretty much. So yeah, I have just decided, you know what? I'm going to embrace the fact that I don't feel like being very Christmassy and just roll with it. So I think this page is really cute. This will be cute. This whole book, by the way, if you're new to my channel, first of all, welcome. Second, I'm doing this entire book in only pastels. So that is why it's fun for testing pastel pencils, because this is my pastel book. It's just, you know, a fun little project. It brings some variety to coloring books, you know. Let me get that clip on there. Okay. So, yeah, I will be doing a review of these pretty soon, probably after I color this page. And then, you know, I'll do also one of the pastel tints. Now, let's see. What on earth is this? Like water? Fairy magic dust? What should we make it, I guess? That's a great thing about doing things in pastel. You're not really following color rules. But let's start with the choices. Let's actually color their skin first. That's always hardest with these small pastel sets because you're kind of limited on skin tones. But let's do, oh, and another thing is they don't come with names or numbers. So I wrote a number because I put a Sharpie number on the pencil. So if you're wondering what those are, let's grab 11, which I think is right here. Okay. And maybe just some 12. Sure, whatever. Sure. All right. So, yes. Hello, everybody. Christmas is literally around the corner, right? Not even a week away now, and I am not prepared. I don't know about you guys, but I have a closet full of Amazon boxes, and I mean, it seriously looks like an Amazon warehouse just threw up in my master closet. And yeah, I need to wrap them. And I need to do it soon. Unless anyone can say it's socially acceptable to just bring out all the presents unwrapped on Christmas Day and hand them to your kids and say, here you go. Is that acceptable? I mean, I'd be saving trees. So, just a thought, Trying to go green and all. But yeah, I need to wrap those things. This past week, I've been trying really hard to get into the Christmassy spirit. I even played Christmas music. YouTube has several awesome videos, by the way, of just loops of Christmas music. So I put one on and it had like a cute little fireplace scene and a Christmas tree going. And I was coloring, the Ginger from Daria Draws, or Color and Chicks also. She had just released Ginger. It's like a little elf. I didn't really color it in Christmas colors. If it was not hard to reach, I would grab it, but I was coloring that, and then I was working on another page, which technically I could have worked on today, but it only needs like 2 things done. So I was working on these Christmas themed pages and listening to Christmas music while coloring in the living room in front of my big Christmas tree, and yep, the spirit just wasn't there. So I was like, well, all right, if that doesn't do it, I'm a lost cause this year. But I've noticed a lot of people are that way. Like I was talking to one of my neighbors and she's kind of bah humbug too. A lot of my friends are. So I feel less guilty, because I felt like so grinchy. Even my holiday baking this year, I normally do like 12 different types of cookies. I go insane. So like I'll do like 12 different types of cookies and mega decorating session and tons of different like fudges and truffles. This year I made cookie dough for 6 different cookies, but I actually only ended up baking 4. Because by the time I finished baking those 4, I was like, I'm done. Screw this. So yeah, that's as far as I got there. And then I only made 3 types of fudge, 5, I don't know. It was just, yeah. It just totally showcases my limited desire to be Christmassy. So, yeah. And then even my husband and I are like, we should go see the lights, but we just still haven't done it. And, yeah, we didn't even decorate our tree with ornaments. And I was feeling really bad about that one because I was like, oh my gosh, what kind of parent am I? So I went to go get my nails done, and the gal that does my nails was like, we didn't decorate ours either. I feel so much better. So apparently I'm not the only one too that just I did put lights on that tree, but then I was just like, I don't feel like getting everything out. And like every year, my in-laws buy the kids ornaments that are like kind of customized to sum up their year of like something they discovered or something they're into that year. My son got a Fortnite one. My daughter got, my older daughter got a softball one, and then my youngest daughter got an ice cream one because she's snack sergeant, loves snacks. So it was just funny, and so we had them put those on the tree, and then every year they get ornaments from my aunt, and then also myself and my husband, we buy them, and the dogs ornaments. Can't forget the dogs, and of course we have the new puppy, so she got one as well. And that's all we put on the tree. And so I had a bunch of leftover candy canes from holiday baking. So I gave them to my 5-year-old and I was like, decorate the tree with this. It's pathetic. And I'm laughing because it's just, I don't know. You gotta laugh. But yeah, I even did Christmassy nails. Look at me. Christmas has literally, there it is on my nails. I can't get more Christmassy than this. And I'm still just like, So tomorrow I'm going to sit down and wrap all those presents in my master closet. And seriously, how this happened was I have actually wrapped some and they're under the tree. But so initially, beginning of the month, I started getting packages because most of our family live out of the state. And so they had started sending, gifts for like the kids and stuff. We don't really send each other gifts. It's always for the kids. But I got 3 kids, so each grandparent sending each kid a present, and some grandparents sending multiple presents, even though I said not to do that. So it started with like 2 packages, and I was like, well, I'm not going to break out all the wrapping material for 2 packages, that seems kind of pointless. So I didn't. And so I put them in my closet, and I was like, well, once I get a few more boxes, I'll tackle those. And then a few boxes turned into like, a dozen. And then the pile was just so big, you're like, well, I don't have time to sit down and do that. I need like a day where I have the time to sit and spend a few hours. And then the pile just got bigger and bigger. And now I'm like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, I need to get on that. So tomorrow I will be sitting down and wrapping those. And yeah, this year is just a wash, is what we're gonna call it. Like I said, I'm not doing any more Christmas pages. I am struggling with Christmas pages. I've started so many at this point. It's ridiculous the amount of WIPs I generated this month, and here I am on WIP Wednesday starting a new page. I had thought about today, like, sitting down and finishing all the odds and ends on some of these WIPs, because some of them need something as simple as like just golden accents, and I'm too lazy to do it because I'm just not in the spirit. That's how pathetic it is. I'm like, this could literally be done, but I don't feel like doing it. And when you don't feel like doing it, well, yeah, like that little golden accent is actually too much effort, Did I get all their skin? I guess so. Might add some blues and purples and whatnot to their skin after, but we'll see. These are definitely a wax-based pencil, no doubt about that. Mushrooms. Someone asked me the other day, so how do you make blends with pastel pencils? You don't really. You just mash some colors together and call it a day. So you make wacky blends. You don't make traditional combos, it's always a little interesting. And my safe, backup is always like a yellow or a peach is one of my colors I mix in. But yeah, you don't really make blends per se. I mean, granted, this set does have some decent ones where you could, but still, I think I'm gonna do purple mushrooms. Because, or maybe I'll work on their dresses. I don't know. So many decisions. Let's do some, because I'm trying to think. It's like they're floating. Well, these mushrooms look like they're in water with like, fairy dust all over the water. I don't know. Of some sort. While I think on it, let's just color. Okay, so see this thought process you guys are witnessing? This is literally the epitome of me and my thoughts all freaking month. I just can't. And yeah, okay. I'm just gonna pick colors and we're just gonna do it. So 12, sure. Didn't I just have 12 out? I did. 1, 12, and 11 again for the mushroom stalks. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay. Welcome to this. I hope no one's watching this hoping to learn something today. This is by no means ever, should you think of WIP Wednesday as a learning opportunity. And especially not this week, and possibly not the rest of this month, or this month in general. I don't think I've really done anything teachable in any of my WIP Wednesdays this month. So anyway, yeah, I've got a lot of WIPs and no desire. Actually, so Saturday, I had laid them all out in my bed, and I even sent a picture to a few friends. I was like, I'm going to tackle all these and get these done. And I didn't. um, yeah, I went to work on one and I was like, if I have to pile them up and force myself to finish them, where's the relaxation and fun in that? It just kind of kills the fun in adult coloring, right? So I picked them up, put them away. I have a lot of buddy colors this month I won't be doing. But I'm just not feeling it. And I mean, everyone is so cool and totally understands, but I mean, I feel like such a flake. Like I said, I'm so bah humbug anyway with Christmas this year. And if you ask me why, I couldn't even tell you why. Like, I don't really have a reason why. Work is going great. It's not actually stressful. Yeah, I don't have a reason. I don't know. Puppy wasn't great timing, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Got nothing for you guys there, but you might not see a lot of Christmas pages. I even have my channel buddy color page, adorable Hannah Lynn image. Well, this is like right on the spine. I haven't colored it. Join my color along, but I haven't colored it. And I probably won't. I'm just going to throw that out there because, like I said, I'm not forcing myself. If the mood suddenly swings that way between now and the end of the month, groovy. But if not, you know what? It is what it is. And I'm just, yeah, I'm not going to force myself, though, because I was trying that and burned myself out. And yeah, like I was ready to go gung-ho with Christmas coloring this year, and nope. So, anyway, so let's see. So into last week, so during my last stream, I had mentioned, I think, that my daughter wasn't feeling well. She had a stomach ache and whatnot. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest. I swapped those around. I honestly thought she was faking to get out of helping with a puppy. Honestly, thought she was just faking. So throughout the week, she kept saying her tummy hurt. She couldn't go to school. And, she would say, I'm going to throw up, but she would never throw up. And so I was like, uh-huh. And she had no fever. That was the other reason I was like, oh, she's totally faking. Well, then, Wednesday, her tummy ache is getting worse. And again, I'm just like, well, yeah, you're just not wanting to help with a dog. And, but then I went to check her temperature because she's like, I don't feel good at all. My head hurts. And so I checked and she had a fever of 102. I was like, well, you can't fake that. Okay, you win. And so we did like a telehealth appointment, and I thought it was like a stomach bug because there's been one going around at the schools. And then that day she was saying her throat was starting to hurt, and I figured it was from, not eating and drinking, and, occasionally she was throwing up. That day, she was throwing up a little more, but she actually has this problem with her stomach, so sometimes this just happens and she's not sick. But combined with a fever, I was like, well, okay, then you have something. So we do the telehealth appointment because I couldn't drive out there. I was waiting for one kid to get home. We had contractors here, and she's throwing up. So I was like, if I can avoid putting her in the car where she's just going to get sick, I would like to do that. But yeah, of course, we ended up having to go in, and they wanted to test her for COVID. So I started laughing. Because I was like, oh, that would be my luck, right? She catches COVID again. Because I even told the doctor, I was like, we just had COVID. Well, apparently that means nothing, because they said they've had tons of people who literally just got over COVID and caught that new variant. So they had to test her, and I was like, oh, great. So unfortunately, the only clinic that had an appointment that day was about 30 minutes away. But by the time they said I needed to come in and get tested, we were during traffic hours. So I was like, oh, great, we're going to hit all the traffic. And a big snowstorm was on its way that day. So I put some videos of it on my Instagram that night of the blizzard. It was insane. But I had to beat that storm. So we rushed over there, and, they swab her for COVID, but also they wanted to swab her for strep because the doctor said that they've had a lot of strep cases and they're presenting with like nausea and vomiting and high fever, and it's actually strep. So I was like, all right, whatever. So they had called in medicine, like anti-nausea meds, and I was on my way home with my daughter, and I was like, hey, do you care? Can you just hang on until they call us back? Because I would hate to like go pick up this one prescription, because we live out in the country. Like, nothing is close. Nothing is just 5 minutes away except farms. So like we have a ways to drive. So I was like, do you care if we just go home, eat dinner, and then wait for the results? That way, in case they have to call in more prescriptions, I'm not trying to go back out twice. And the storm was already starting to hit at that point. So my daughter was like, yeah, it's fine. And then as we were driving home, the doctor called, and she had tested positive for strep. And so I was like, oh, crazy. I mean, so that whole time she had a stomach ache and stuff, she actually had strep throat. And her throat didn't even start hurting till days later. But yeah, so she ended up with strep. So she stayed home all week and, was on antibiotics. And then she's better now. And then now it's like winter break. So it's like, But it was kind of an interesting thing, because I would have never thought strep, especially with the stomach. But apparently it's very common for kids when they catch strep to just be sick to their stomach, and sometimes they never ever get the sore throat. And even her sore throat was really minor. Once she was able to start eating and drinking, because they did give her that anti-nausea medication, her throat pain went away. So yeah, it was just crazy. But so I was dealing with that, and then we had our blizzard. A lot of people lost power. We did not. It kept flickering on and off. So I thought for sure I was going to wake up, the next day with no power, but it held on. But yeah, a lot of people lost power that day, so it was pretty nuts. But my favorite part is shoveling. I love to shovel snow. It's like a workout, but you don't feel like you're working out, which is my ideal type of workout. So yeah, I mean, that was one thing I was super excited for. I was waiting for it to warm up a tiny bit, but I shouldn't have, because by the time I got out there, it was slush, starting to slush on the bottom, and it was heavy. And we had, easily 8 inches out there. So yeah, I got like blisters. I think you can still see one of the calluses on my hand from it. It was great though. I loved it. That's one thing I love about winter. But no, it did not put me in the Christmas spirit. I was still just like, bah. But I was happy to shovel. I did realize I needed new snow boots, so I had to order some, obviously. Didn't use them that day, but another storm is actually on its way. It's supposed to hit tonight, possibly tomorrow morning. And then right now they are saying we should get snow from now all the way through Christmas. So we might have a white Christmas. I mean, we technically have snow still on the ground, but it might actually like be active snowing, because it hasn't snowed in a few days, so it's all just grimy. Snow is pretty on the first day, sometimes the second. Once you get a few days into it, it's melting, it's mixed with dirt. It's no longer pretty. It's just a big hot mess, big cold mess, I should say. But yeah, it's we'll see though. That'd be pretty cool if it does snow. Even though I'm all bah humbug, I still wouldn't mind that at all. But yeah, and then let's see. So what else has been going on? Oh, the basement. I don't know if I told you guys. So they're trying to get it done before Christmas. Right now we're just waiting on the painter, who I think comes today. I don't know how long it takes to paint. They do it in a day. I don't know. Originally my husband was like, no, I'm going to paint. And finally I talked him into letting the contractor do it. So thank goodness for that. We are going to hit a snag with flooring, because we need to put carpet in, obviously, before we can move things down there. and a lot of carpet is back ordered, supply chain issues. And then, of course, with the holidays, a lot of installers are just either their schedule's too booked or they're not open, or so yeah, we're gonna have some delays there. So I'm thinking we won't actually be using it until probably mid-January, if not end of January, which means my craft room, art studio area won't be done until then, because obviously my husband can't move out of his little man cave until he, has carpet down there. So, and then I'll do a tour once I'm done organizing it. That'll probably take a little while, which brings me to why I think I'm in a coloring slump. So, my current office has been getting very cluttered. So I've moved, I had moved my art desk into the master so that I could record and stream in peace. But the problem is like, so I have to bring things into my master and I don't have easy access. Like I can't turn around right now and go grab a different pencil set or whatever. I have to like physically walk out of a room. And so it's just clutter everywhere. And then because I know I'm getting, or, moving rooms, I'm not unpacking anything. I'm not organizing anything. So my office and my art desk here in my room is just, everything's a hot mess right now. And I don't thrive in chaos. I actually shut down. And I think that's what's happening with my creativity and all that. It's just, I'm so bogged down by the clutter that I just can't focus. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll start, organizing. And I'm like, well, what's the point? Because I'm going to be moving it all. It's going to get, right back to where we were before. So I'm kind of in a limbo. But yeah, I think that is part of it. And then also I've been suffering from like major fatigue. As you guys know, one of my COVID symptoms was fatigue, and it's been lingering since having COVID. It gets better. Like some days I have energy, but lately it's just like gone completely. I'm not the type that naps. Like I never nap. And I have just been napping. Like I'll just fall asleep coloring wherever I'm sitting, practically narcoleptic. I mean, it's not intentional. Like I just fall asleep. I wouldn't say I'm passing out or anything dangerous like that, but I do just nod off. And I'll wake up like hours later, 20 minutes later, depending, be like, what the heck? So it's crazy because I'm not a napper, and then I'm still tired enough to go to bed. I'm not depressed, so it's not that or anything. In fact, and I don't think it's all the med changes I've been on either. It's been a few months, and I don't think it's those. I think it's just lingering from COVID or something. I'll go see the doctor after the holidays. I'm due for my physical anyway around my birthday, so it's normally when I go. So I'll just make an appointment. But problem is they just rely on lab tests, and if the lab tests are normal, they just write it off as, well, take some vitamins or something. I feel like diagnostics have gone down a hill because I've had my thyroid levels and hormone levels checked before, and they're like, well, they're within the normal range, but the normal range isn't normal for everybody. I was like, well, gee, thanks. So basically you're telling me nothing now. So that's why I'm kind of like, why bother? But I will go and get checked and see if it's just lingering from COVID, or if maybe I'm low on iron, or I've heard some people who have had COVID, their hormones get screwed up post-COVID, so I'll have them check that too, I guess. I don't know what the cause is, to be honest. I'm at this point just guessing as good as you. My stomach condition, which had been under wraps ever since COVID, is now flared up again, major flared up. Like, I dare eat the wrong thing and I'm paying for it for weeks, not like hours, weeks. So I don't know what that is about. But it's not pleasant, that's for sure. So yeah, that's one thing I have to get looked at too, because I don't want to get another ulcer. But yeah, I'm not stressed or depressed. I mean, I'm stressed about the holidays. Just, holidays are always stressful. I don't know, even when you try to make it not stressful, like us not doing anything, they're still stressful. I don't know why. It's just the season. Sorry if you hear all the noise in the background. Kids are watching the puppy. And they're on winter break, so I no longer have quiet mornings. Maybe that's where the stress is. Just kidding. They've only been off for 2 days, so it's not like it's summer break. Whew. Yeah, that one's rough. But yeah, so that I had to cancel my stream because I was just so stressed and tired and overwhelmed, and I was mainly frustrated because I didn't feel like coloring anything. I had put a poll out for y'all, and you guys had picked a Christmas themed tutorial, and I was like, well, shoot, I don't have my Christmas mojo. And so I was struggling that whole week just thinking, well, what could I do for a Christmas tutorial? And I just didn't feel like doing anything. And then combined with my exhaustion, I was just like, I'm not in it. The stream won't go well. I need to just take the weekend and recuperate from whatever I'm recuperating from. And so that's why I canceled last minute. I will probably stream this weekend, though. I know it's like, 2 days after Christmas? No, it's the day after Christmas, right? Yeah, because Christmas is on a Saturday this year. That's throwing me off. So yeah, it'd be the day after Christmas, but I'm going to try and stream that day. We'll see. Don't ask me what. It's not going to be Christmas themed, that's for darn sure. And Christmas will be past, so I don't have to. I don't have to anyways, but you know what I mean. But yeah, we'll see. I do have the puppy. The puppy's doing well. She did her second in-home lesson with our trainer. She's still very skittish, but a lot of the aggression is going away. So this time she wasn't as aggressive towards him. She hasn't been aggressive towards my son. So the aggression's lessening, but her skittishness, and not trusting is still there, and we're working on that. My son basically had to spend every minute with her when he's home to kind of, teach her. And then he's actually leaving to go to his dad's though until Christmas Day, so puppy has to readjust, but she's been doing pretty good. Potty training, whew. Yeah, the potty training's rough. I forgot about potty training. Just when you think like, okay, they've got it. They have figured it out. Like, because she'll go to the door and she knows she goes out that door and she'll, jump on it. And I'm like, great, yay. And then you'll make the mistake of saying, I think she's finally getting it. She's potty trained, and turn around and she's like peeing right next to you. So I've just given up on saying she's potty trained. She's in progress. She's a WIP. She is definitely a WIP. Potty training WIP. But it's making its progress. It's definitely with each day seeing improvements. We do have some regression. Sometimes that's because honestly she's just not being watched closely when she has those moments, and that's on us really, not her. So we're working on that still, and that'll of course take a few months. Potty training, and you can't potty train a puppy in 7 days. I don't care what those YouTube videos claim. You can't. They're a puppy. They've got to develop bladder control. Just like you can't potty train a freaking toddler fully. You can get a lot of the gist down, but you're not going to have something fully potty trained in 5 to 7 days. It's just not happening. There's rules and nuances they got to catch on to. So yeah, I'm very realistic about it. Let me just put it that way. Although I am most definitely in the spring steam cleaning these carpets. Combine it with the fact that we didn't have a yard all the way through summer, so tons of dirt just constantly. It pushed in mud when it would rain, to construction in the basement, to 2 dogs, including one that's now potty training. I am going to have my carpets shampooed like crazy. And I'm not doing it myself. I'm going to get someone in here with some high-powered equipment to suck the dirt out of there. Because, yeah, they're gross. I'm just like, I moved my nightstand the other day because I dropped something behind it. And there was already discoloration. I was like, oh, come on. This house isn't even a year old. But it's just all the dirt being, brought in by the kids and the dogs since March when we bought it and moved in. And even the movers, my husband never taking his shoes off, all those things. So yeah, we're gonna have to steam clean some carpets for sure. Oh well, that's life though, right? But I think I'm more irked that they're not even a year old and they need to be steamed. Yes, I'm using my hand to brush this away. No, you should not repeat what you see. I just don't know where my brush is. And yeah, it's one of those days. Rule breaker. I'm a rebel. I don't wrap presents. I don't color Christmas anymore. I'm just me. I really think we need to do purple mushrooms. I really do. But for some reason, I'm just not enjoying the purple colors. Yeah, let's do this 33, 32, and this creamish looking color. Or I could do a pinkish. This purple is just kind of on its own, although it would work with that one. I mean, it would blend with these. It would actually blend really nicely with that one. Let's just do, the 33, 32, and I keep using that color. Let's try 13, or what I call 13. I wish these had numbers and names on them. I think that'd be stellar. I can tell you right now, though, let's see, 32 is the lighter one. 33 is the darker. Is it? Weird. The LEDs actually seem lighter. Yeah, I will tell you right now, I don't think these are worth buying at the price if they're not on sale. Just my opinion. Because yeah, the regular price is pretty steep, and it's just 36 colors, and they're not like artist grade. I guarantee they're not light fast of any kind. Although, I don't really care about that. I'm coloring in a coloring book. This does not look like the color that oh, you can probably hear Scout. Oh, that's because this is number 31. Anyway, there we go. Combo is correct now. Wow. I swear I haven't lost it. But yeah, so I think these are 30 something, 20 something. They're not bad. It's just, they're a budget pencil. They're definitely having like the higher price because they're a little novelty thing. They're cute. They're pretty. I mean, black wood with pastel colors. They're definitely like a little collection type thing. But these aren't like, something you could just go and color a portrait with, or just don't expect anything like insane from them. But I definitely don't think you should buy them at their regular price point. I would wait for a sale, coupon. I try to keep an eye out. Since I like them, I'll probably want to buy a spare set, So I'll keep an eye out for sales myself, and I'll try to ping you guys in the community tab. But yeah, usually I only put them there if you ever see me put something in the community tab for sale, it's something I'm actually buying literally myself in that moment. Something I own and endorse, something I've reviewed, something I've used, etc. So I don't just throw things out there to throw things out there. If you see it on my community tab, definitely know that it's something I use and, recommend, or I'm actually like in the process of buying it. Like in this case with these, I was literally buying them, and I just so happened to see the sale on Amazon. I was like, oh, better buy them now at this price. So, yeah, just always keep that in mind. I know I post the Brutfuner ones a lot, but gosh, it's the best time to buy those because you should never buy the square Brutes at their retail price because those things have a coupon or sale like every other day. So seriously wait because you will overpay and like a sale will pop up like in 48 hours. So I try to post them every time I see the sales. You know, not too long ago there was a really good deal on them, and so I got them super cheap, and I needed a backup because I was running low on a lot of colors. So, but yeah, I try to keep an eye out for those ones. Just hope you guys save money. And then myself too, because I need backup sets. Were these on 17? Now I'm starting to think that was the Brutfuners I got for 17. I know I got these on some sort of coupon deal. I just can't remember how much of a deal it was, but either way, it made it worth it to try them. And I'm glad I did. Like I said, they're smooth. Now, Hannah Carlson books, I usually prefer oil-based pencils on this paper. I really don't like the way wax performs on it. But unfortunately, all of my oil-based, or my pastel-based pencils are wax, except Holbein's technically. But you know, I've never used a Holbein. Have I used Holbeins in these? I think, yeah, I have. This one's scratchy, just as I get there saying they're not, but this one's definitely got some scratchiness in there. Sometimes you can just work it out by turning the pencil. Other times you got to sharpen it. I don't want to sharpen these a bunch though, because like I said, don't want to run out of them. Really, I'm trying to remember how much they were now, but either way, it was a good sale and a decent price, so I grabbed them. I love the word macaroon now because that just instantly means it's a pastel set. Anything I've purchased that says macaroon on it is pastel colors, so I'm like, yay! But I feel like I almost need to add a pink in here to draw the pink from here. So maybe I just wish there was one slightly lighter pink, I think is what it's missing. But let's do this number 5, which looks kind of neonish, but it's the black wood. It's going to make it look a lot brighter than it really is. Because when I first opened the case, I was like, what are these neons? But then I went to swatch them, especially like the yellow barrels and the green barrels against the black. Yeah, that one throws you off a little. But see, this is what I mean about pastels. You just kind of make them work together. You don't really go for any sort of like traditional blend, because that's just not really possible with these. And I mean, I haven't even compared this set to my other pastels to see if I've gotten any unique colors. You know, because now I have the pastel tints. I have these. I've got my Holbeins, the Astras. So it's always kind of fun to like combine them and see like, did I get any new colors? You know, how close are to these? I did compare the pastel tints to the pastel love. Yes, I said love this time. It changes. And I had gained a few unique colors in that one, but between those, I'm kind of curious. I do think when I was swatching these, I felt like there was some unique colors popping out there, but I definitely need to do like a side-by-side comparison. Now, the Pastel Love comes in a 50 count set, but you can only buy them from, I think, that Polish website, or one of the Amazons. Maybe Amazon Germany might have it too. But they're pretty hard to get. So these would be a nice alternative because they're still affordable, but they're something you can get from Amazon US and I think Amazon UK possibly. Actually, maybe not. I think a few people said it's not there. The pastel tints from Castle Art are incredibly overpriced. I really like the pencils though. but the price of those pencils, I'm not sold on that. And I do feel like Castle Art was trying to capitalize on some trends. But I mean, can't really blame them because that's kind of the point. But they came out with their pastel tints, which are really similar to the Pastel thing. So they were trying to like ride that train. And then they did their Castle Art Golds right around the time Starjoy Gold was releasing with their budget oil-based. So I just found that kind of strange timing that Castle Art's like, hey, look at all these things we're releasing. You know what I mean? Just odd timing. I don't know if anyone else picked up on that or feels that way, or if I'm just being a negative Nancy. But I did notice that, and I do think the pastel tints are way overpriced, but they're a very cute pencil, and I like the way they feel. Because they're so full of white and fillers, they're really soft. That's not necessarily a good thing, but they are really pretty and fun. Whereas the Astro ones are very scratchy to me. A lot of people said theirs are soft, but mine are scratchy. So the pastel tint from Castle Art was kind of a nice little change to me. But yeah, that price for those, I don't know about that one. Castle Art Gold, I need to do an update in my community tab, so I need to remind myself. I've been playing around with those. I don't care what you say, Castle Art. Those are not an oil-based pencil. Not the set I got. Unless they had a manufacturing snafu and messed up the formula that day. I'm just going to stop trying to skip these white dots because I'm going to use Posca or Stickles anyways. Because yeah, there's just no way those things are oil-based. They don't have the oily sheen. They don't lay down like an oil pencil. They're very waxy. They're very smooth, like a wax pencil. Not saying that oil is not smooth, but you know what I mean. Like it just has that feel. Full of fillers. I mean, don't even think there's much of anything quality in there, but it was just I don't like them. Honestly, I don't. I'm honestly thinking of not even bothering to review them. I'm thinking of just straight returning them because I think I spent almost $70-something on that set of those. I gotta move this so I can get in this spine here. And yeah, they're complete crap, for lack of a better word, for that price point. I've seen some rave reviews. People are like, I love these things. I'm like, did I just not get the right set? What happened to my experience here? Because I am not impressed with those Castle Art Golds whatsoever. So yeah, if you're curious about those, I will not be endorsing those things at all. I honestly think they're junk. And the fact that they even had the nerve to slap on the word oil-based really annoys me. Because I'm sorry, they're not. They're not. I mean, Starjoy is a budget pencil, obviously going to have loads of filler, but it still has that oily sheen. It lays down like an oil. When I use it on paper that I typically use oil pencils on, it responds exactly how I would expect it to because it is indeed oil-based. Those Castle Art ones don't do that. Like I even did during my first impressions, I put them on paper that I normally use oil-based pencils on. And yeah, they did not perform like an oil-based pencil would. And they felt very waxy. So very curious to see if anyone else has had that issue. But I'm most likely going to return them and just do a post saying, you know what, don't buy this crap. And not bother with the review because that was a lot of money to just chuck at something that's just complete crap and I want to get rid of. Like I said, I've seen a ton of people like saying they're great, so I'm like, I don't know, did I get just a crappy batch? I did order them right when they came out, so did I just get like the leftovers from manufacturing day? I don't know. So yeah, see, I'm kind of just blending whatever. Now these are a little, you know, scratchy and whatnot, I can always go back with my Caran d'Ache blender or the Lyra Splendor blender. Both of those will work really great with this type of pencil. The Lyra might actually be better because if you don't want that milky finish, then use the Lyra. But if you don't care about the milky finish, use the Caran d'Ache. Now, don't use a Prismacolor blender on these pastel pencils, any brand of pastel colors. You won't get very good results if you use that Prisma blender. It takes away a lot of the pigment, and these already are so full of white anyway. But yeah, just little word of advice there. I don't ever use a Prismacolor colorless blender on these pastel pencils. I will stick to my Caran d'Ache or the Splendor blender from Lyra, which I usually do at the end because I hate seeing tooth of the paper. It like annoys the crap out of me. So I need to go in and blend it out and smooth it. And both of those help just smooth things out. They're not like the Prismacolor one where it drags the color a lot more. Those just kind of blend in place. So not burnish, not burnishing. I'm blending. I did get the Derwent one though, because I know a lot of people really like the Derwent one. So I'm going to try it and see what I think. That'll be in my December haul. I got the burnisher and blender. They come in a set. So I'll try them both and see. I normally don't use burnishing pencils because I can burnish the paper just fine on my own. I don't need a pencil to do it. I'm so heavy-handed I can burnish just fine without some colorless piece doing it for me. But we'll see how that one works out and what I think. And if not, I definitely think that Lyra Splendor blender is one of my new favorites, especially with the Caran d'Ache blender. Oh, and I did get, that reminds me, I did get one of the new Caran d'Ache blenders. I'm going to try it because I've heard some people say it feels just like the old one, just, you know, it's encased in wood. But I've also had others who say it feels different. So I'm going to compare it, see if I notice any differences myself, and kind of go from there. Because I'm kind of curious. I thought they were just encasing the full colorless, you know, and that was what the big change was, but I hope they didn't change the formula. They definitely are not changing the price. You're getting less blender. And I have seen a few people say they like the wood one because their colorless blender was yellowing. I've had Caran d'Ache colorless blenders for a long time in my collection. You know, and honestly, I had them for a long time. I didn't even use them because I was like, oh, what is this thing? But I have never had one yellow. They even sit out. I have a lot of them just sitting in like little jars. And I've never had any of them yellow on me. So I found that kind of interesting that some people have had yellowing. But also, if you have had yellowing, did it actually affect the outcome of the blending? Did it blend things and leave like a yellowish tint? I'm just curious like how serious the yellowing issue is. My biggest issue always with those full blenders was just the breaking. I could never, for the love, get one that wasn't like broken somewhere along the way in shipping. Yeah, I'd never had one yellow on me, and I was kind of curious if that's one of the reasons they did that. I think they were honestly doing it just to save money because it's expensive to give someone a whole blender when you can encase it in wood and give them less for the same price. So I honestly think that's where Caran d'Ache was going with that one. But I am very curious about the yellowing that some people have been reporting on their old one, not this new one, but the old one. Should probably clarify that. Unless the new one yellows out too, then I'm very curious, but I don't know. I'll try them out. Got so many projects in the pipelines, but I'm just kind of taking it easy right now, you know. I'm trying not to overload my plate, especially because I'm feeling so exhausted all the time. I want to make sure I'm not burning out. I'm basically recording videos I feel like recording when I feel like recording them, which honestly is the best way to run a channel anyways. You know, because once you start feeling like it's a job, it really does show. You know, and you don't want it to be a job, because you're doing this to escape your job and life or whatever is stressing you out. So you definitely want to take it easy, and that's what I'm doing. So like, I do have a hair tutorial I'm gonna film. I'll probably film it tomorrow. I may film it today. It just depends on my stomach. My stomach is really hating me today. So I'm like, but I wonder, do I have it nearby? Oh, I do. Okay, so I've been asked a few times to do highlights and more advanced hair tutorials. Now, this one's going to be coming out soon. I did this with Black Widows, including some of the new Dragon pencils. So yes, unfortunately, you would need, I think a pencil from almost every set, if I'm not mistaken. Possibly Skin Tone Light wasn't touched. But that said, you could swap colors, you know, from other sets that are close enough. Because if you look at the chart of Black Widows, they have some that are really close. Like, you could get away with it. So definitely keep that in mind. But this is going to be an advanced hair tutorial. The lighting isn't the greatest right now to show this lusciousness. Look at this lusciousness. Hopefully it shows. So yeah, this is kind of a brown with golden highlights. There are 9 pencils involved in this, and every single one of those 9 get used to create this effect. So I will be doing the tutorial. That's why I left this whole side here to do, because I wanted to show you guys how you incorporate like these blonde highlights. But this is going to be a much more advanced one, because I've had requests for advanced ones. I've also had requests for highlights. Highlights are always going to be more advanced just because you are working with the light. You know, you're also ignoring a lot of the grayscale. You are creating 2 different hair colors in one area. So it gets dicey. And then when you mix in curls, holy moly. So this has taken me actually a while to do this. I've been working on it like the last 3 days. And then just sitting there in the evenings, flicking away. You guys know how I love to flick. But yeah, it's actually very soothing. I'm not gonna lie, I've fallen asleep during a few of them. But yeah, so I'll be doing a good chunk of this side on camera in the tutorial. And yeah, it was fun. I think the next one I want to do is like a black leading into like a purple or something. But I've had requests for more advanced tutorials, so I'm going to do some more of those. But I also want to still do beginner ones and combo ones, because not everyone can handle those more advanced ones. And the advanced ones, like I said, that one's 9 pencils, and that was me taking it easy on the pencils. I could have easily done like 14 or 15 colors in there. Originally, when I picked out the palette, I think it was at 12. And I had, you know, pulled back, so I was like, oh gosh, you know, no one's going to want to pull out that many pencils. So yeah, I'm trying to tame the amount of pencils used, but the advanced tutorials, you need more pencils to create all the different light and balance. With this style, I should be more specific, with this style of doing hair, because I like to flick in strands and make it look like there's actual strands of hair. So that style requires a lot more. There are ways to color realistic hair, not doing it this way. This is just my way. You guys know I like to flick. I flick everything, leaves. It's becoming a joke. You know, I just did my pine needle tutorial, and I put under it, spoiler alert, I am flicking, but it's true. It's one of the many things that my style has evolved into over the years. Whether you're new to coloring or been around for a while, you can probably look back and see how you've developed some unique little characteristics. Because honestly, the first time I ever did like a flicking motion, I was doing it on leaves with polychromos. It was a tutorial. I was like, this is wacky. I can't do this. And then I started doing hair after that, and that was when I started getting the hang of it and really liking it. And well, look at what we are doing today. In fact, this is probably the one time I don't use flicking, is when I'm coloring with pastel colored pencils, because there's so much white in there. It's hard to get the pigment out, that if you were to sit here and, you know, flick, you're not going to get a very pretty looking result. I mean, I could make a pastel hair. I'll look at what you guys have done. That's right, I said you guys have done, not me. Yeah, you could make a pastel hair color, but I would actually look for light colors in my existing non-cheapy pastel pencils. But like my, you know, Derwent Artists can make a really good pastel set because they're all very muted naturally. I could take a combo of my Pro Color polychromos and all that and just find pastel colors and make a pastel hair. So that might be fun. I do have a unicorn hair that I need to do, and that one will be darker, but I can make a lighter unicorn hair using pastel colors from pencils. Ooh, this one has some blue running through it that I just found. But yeah, I would never use these, or like the Pastel Love or my Castle Art pastel tints. No way, because those things are waxy and full of so much white. I wouldn't get anything. But I think I'm gonna call it here. I've got another mushroom to color, but we're already past an hour of me rambling on. So yeah, so this is the first look at the Indra Creative Macaroons, which I actually really like. And then of course just playing around. And this week, the rest of this week, I'm not really sure video wise what's gonna pop up. I have a whole list of things I want to record, but I don't necessarily know, because I don't want any videos actually posting on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, because I just feel like we're all busy. But I should be streaming on Sunday at the usual 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is noon Eastern. Or if that changes, I'll let you guys know. But so far I'm planning on streaming. But I hope everyone watching has a very Merry Christmas, you know, happy holiday. If you don't celebrate Christmas, then just a great weekend with your family. And until next time, take care. Bye now.